It is now the end of January and the end of Interterm. It's been a pretty interesting 6 weeks. It's the longest that I've had off in over a decade. As I said before, I used to work a full-time job, and the longest I had off was about 10 days. And so to have 6 weeks with no kind of like set work schedule has been a challenge, really. I had a few things that I wanted to do this interterm. The first being to get my script ready for the spring semester. I think I've done that pretty well. It's something that I was really struggling with. I may have mentioned already that the parameters are 8 pages of length, and that's been kind of tricky. The first idea that I had was really too short, and then it also had some visual effects that were probably going to be a little bit too sophisticated for the project. I was also told that it bore some resemblance to a scene in Stranger Things 2, which as a Chapman student, which is the alma mater of the Duffer Brothers, creators of Stranger Things, I didn't think it would be like too wise to kind of like go down that path. And when I finally saw Stranger Things 2, it turned out not to be like too similar, but for the other reasons, I think it's probably a good idea that I moved on. Then I tried a shotgun approach, just doing everything that I could think of, and nothing was really hitting. I came up with a decent idea for a kind of domestic drama, but the conflict didn't really come out until page 8, so it would have been way too long, and I couldn't cut it down to make it fit. And then finally I hit on this idea that I'm actually going forward with kind of during finals week. And so I didn't have a whole lot of time to workshop it in my screenwriting class. And so this interterm has really been a process of kind of like figuring out that story. And I think I'm in a pretty decent place with it right now. The other thing I've been trying to do related to my spring film is find a producer. The good news is that there's enough producers to go around, so I'm not in danger of being without one, which would really, really suck. On my 3-2-1 last semester, I had no producer because we didn't get producers. And I had to do it myself, and I really hate producing my own films because it's just too much work. So thankfully I will get that for the spring semester, but I don't know who it's going to be and what that working relationship is going to be like. I've been in talks with a couple of producers over the interterm, but unfortunately it hasn't worked out with any of them, and they've all moved on to other projects. So I'm a little bit wary. The other thing I wanted to focus on this interterm was getting back and doing some more music, and getting my mind off of film and thinking about something totally different. And I've had some songs kind of like percolating in my brain over the past few months, and so it's been time to kind of like get back to recording them. I bought an acoustic guitar so I can start incorporating acoustic sounds, which is something that I've wanted to do for a while. I've been playing for something like 20 years, and I've never owned an acoustic guitar. I've obviously played them, but I've never had one before, so it's nice to finally have one. I hope to be able to kind of get a good like 3 or 4 songs actually done, but I've got one song mostly done, and I'm gonna have to kind of continue this on as I'm also dealing with producing this movie and doing the classes. So it'll be kind of a challenge, and hopefully it won't drag on for months and months and months like the last album did. Speaking of classes, I have the syllabus for one class, my directing 2 class, which is directing the camera, which seems like it'll be pretty cool. I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm taking 6 classes this semester, so 5 classes that are required for the degree, and then I'm also taking an elective, basically, an industry insiders class with Richard Edlund, who is kind of the godfather of modern visual effects. Worked on Star Wars and Ghostbusters and too many other things to list, really, off the top of my head. those types of movies were the movies that really got me interested in filmmaking. All the little technical tricks that you do to kind of create these images from nothing is what really got me into film. So I'm really looking forward to that class. And as I did last semester, I'm going to do, once I get all of my syllabi, I will do a kind of rundown on all the different classes and what they're about. So stay tuned for that, probably in a couple of weeks.